I got this right. Mic check. Looks like we're good. Cam check. Also looks like we're good. What up, y'all? Yeah, currently level 79 hardcore road. I've been very in a 74. Nice. When a hardcore 100 so bad. Just say I did it. Hey man, you're almost there. You're almost there. Just take it easy. Definitely don't rush. Take your time. I mean, there really is no reason to rush, right? So yeah, just definitely take your time. You'll get there. You'll get there. But what up, y'all? On the launch day PoE, with their new content and things. So I am aware that's mostly where everyone is in the action RPG world. But I'm gonna continue my journey in Diablo 3. Yesterday I was not feeling as well, so I just kind of just took the night and just slept most of the time. So which is kind of what I needed. Super Mike, what's going on? Yeah, I think it's just right now my body getting used to the side effects of both gabapentin and the nerve block shot they gave me on Wednesday, sorry, on Wednesday. So there's side effects for both. And I think my body is just trying to figure out which side effect to bother me with or be on the forefront. And I think I kind of felt the brunt of that yesterday. And I was just like, oh hell, all right. So let me just chill yesterday or whatever. So well, actually, how many keys do I have? So because I didn't play yesterday, I think I'm gonna spend a chunk of this stream still continuing to farm, and then tomorrow we'll start the pushes itself. Because I don't think I have everything I need quite yet. Like I'm somewhat almost there, but not really. Also, I had the wrong set on. Yeah. Actually, what am I missing here? Oh. Oh yeah. Where's mine? It's on cooldown still. Come on, game. Oh, by the way, I also noticed that's right, I did get new boots. I noticed that Last Epoch did a Q&A dev stream literally at the at the beginning of PoE's launch. Or PoE's content launch, season launch or whatever. Which was a big oof, because I'm just like, did y'all schedule that like at the same day as this? Like that's like not good. Like really not good. I'm sure they had to have known, so I don't know why they chose to do that. Trying to be competitive. I mean, I mean, there's no way they could have thought they could have been competitive with this, PoE's league right now. Like, ain't no way. No way they thought they were gonna have to get, take some of that, that audience or whatever. Like, no. Maxroll was playing PoE. I saw. I didn't actually like watch any streamers, but like I had my Twitch open and I saw, my entire Twitch lists of everybody playing PoE, including Macro. He starts off, I think, in his title, I think it was like Diablo 4 expert plays PoE for the first time. How did he do, by the way? Because he says he didn't use POB at all, so he was kind of going in, like just going in. He was enjoying it. Okay. I'm actually surprised I don't really see him play PoE more often, considering how he's a very technical. Not a technical player, but like he's a very very into the details in terms of like what the game has to offer. And considering Path of Exile is definitely a more deep game, he could get lost endlessly. In some of the games, like in what the game has to offer. So like for macro, it really isn't about the. I won't say it's not about the combat. I'm pretty sure that he does care about it, but I think he likes the more intricate details of things in terms of like what's going on with the class, the players, the skills, or whatever. I feel like he'd have more of a fun time in PoE. So I'm actually surprised he doesn't play it more. How many of you guys are playing PoE like currently while lurking? For Paragon, am I targeting? I'm not really targeting the Paragon, but more so of like making sure I have the gear necessary, like the mats necessary, the gear necessary to be able to roll what I need to roll to do the thing. So it's not really about a specific Paragon as it is about the gear. I think once I start pushing, if I feel like I can't get to a certain goal because of my Paragon, then I might go back and farm more Paragon. But I don't really have a target Paragon goal at the moment. I'm pushing 3 sets. It'll be GoD6, Marauder, and UE multi-shot. So those are the 3 I care about. I don't care about Nats or Shadow. What gears am I currently looking for? More so Marauder at the moment, because I'm gonna push Marauder first because it's stronger, stronger, and also a lot more fun to push with than GoD6. And then I'm gonna go back and do the other, and then I'm gonna go back and do UE multi shot, and then GoD6. GoD6 would be a little like because I've been playing more GoD6 or whatever. My GoD6 pieces are a little better. So I think I'm mostly done with the GoD6 set in terms of like potentially pushing with it. I need better boots and better gem levels or whatever, but that's gonna come with pushing. So just trying to Natalia for the first time, but it seemed hard. The place. I think it's just unnecessarily complicated in terms of like the cow trap itself. Like placing enemies in the cow trap. So you have to kind of play it like Impale, like melee Impale, but with Natalia's. Which is why I really don't like Natalia's at all, to be honest. But yeah. if I'm gonna stick with Guardians for GoD6, or am I gonna for the GoD6 push, or am I gonna do COE instead? I think it pretty much comes down to how good of a Wraps clarity can I get. Never played past level 25. Thought about trying it again. Diablo was my first action RPG, so it's been good to learn the basics and the idea of these games in general. PoE was a little overwhelming when I first played it. Oh, it's gonna always be overwhelming. You're still like PoE at this point is like you could sit there and play like you can have several hundred hours in it, like 400 or 500 hours in it, and still be relatively new at the game. There's just a lot to learn because they continue to add content, and a lot of times that content like stays. So like over the years, you can imagine how much has been added to the game. You know, since then. So yeah, it's natural to be overwhelming in PoE. Yeah, but I mean, at this point in time, I mean, I don't know. Like, it just depends on how much time you really have. I don't know if this is like a great time to kind of get into PoE. Like, if you're like brand new, just because PoE 2's kind of, I'm gonna say around the corner, but like unless you have a lot of, you know, quite a bit of free time, I think trying to learn PoE right now is a very daunting task that may or may not pay off for you. But yeah. Let's see. So right now I'm at what? 1600 Paragon. I guess by the end of tonight I should be around maybe close to 1700. But more so, hopefully I have enough gems, like regular gems too as well. And my Marauder pieces get a little better. I want to play PoE again as long as you can't skip this boring campaign. I actually find that quite interesting that you cannot skip the campaign. That's a pretty awkward decision considering that they do so many other things right. I never understood that one thing. It's 2024. You need to pay for every character. Am I playing on NA? Yes, NA. Yep, NA solo self-found. Haven't done any pushing yet, so if you're kind of looking for me on the boards, I haven't done anything yet. Not yet, but the plan is to do it this weekend. This is like the big weekend for it. Maverick, what's going on? What's going on, man? You gotta run the kid to practice. All good, man. Pushing their whistle, so final leaderboards down 149. I have no idea what the DH leaderboards look like. I don't want to know yet. But when I get ready to get started, I'll take a peek and see and see what's there. See what's being done around my Paragon. I put it that way, like what's possible on the sets I'm trying to push at my Paragon. They're gonna push an M6 next. Yeah, that's the first set I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna take a bit of a different twist on it then. So I'm gonna go no generator multi-shot M6. I find that the most fun way to play Marauders for myself. That is. Also, I might be a little biased because I kind of was the one that came up with the build. Back, I think the first time I actually did it was in season 25, and got the GR150 that way with it. It was a lot of fun. Nas gave you RSI last season. Oh man. I looked out and had a perfect Primal Death Diggers draw for your god. Very nice. I'm still on the fence about like how I'm gonna do my GoD6. If am I gonna keep Guardians? Cause I mean Guardians is actually still good, you know, around my Paragon in terms of like for pushing like damage wise. Especially if I continue to use the Dex gems in my gear. If I continue to do that, then like Guardians is still like a great choice all the way up until like 23, 24, 2500 Paragon roughly, which I'm not gonna reach. So I might stick with the Guardian set, but I'm also thinking about COE would be better if I went or just regular like full GoD6 with COE and Q. Might just maybe better for the whole dual generator thing. Yeah, rating 9 for Demon Hunter. Let's go. Okay, cool. What realm are you playing? Are you doing solo self-found or? How much permit smoke screen without a cost and discipline? I use vanishing powder, so I use the cooldown one. I don't use the one that costs resources because channeling or resource shrine or whatever is pretty popular. So it's kind of like, you know, for like your Q power or whatever, right? So I'm just like, all right, well, because it is, then I guess I can just use the cooldown one. Yeah, profile. I don't have them. Well, I guess I guess that is my profile. I guess. Oh, I do want that quiver though.
Let's see what we can do. We need to go back.
It took you forever rerolling to get a usable Primal Barrage and Wind Force. I'm hoping that's not the case for my Wind Force for my Marauder build. I'm kind of scared that is going to be the case. I actually have a really good Wind Force from my UE build already. Like it dropped really, and it dropped, rolled it really well. So like, I'm kind of like, all right, for my UE, but for no, what was that? Also, do I have one? Yeah, I don't have a Ancient Marauder's Helm. But I wonder what that rolled. I mean, I can go find out if I want to, but I don't feel like doing anything. Oh well. Like this rolled really, or mostly well. That 99% damage is very, very good, but everything else, Impale, really. I don't think Impale. I really don't think that Impale stuff should roll on Ethereals because you can't even use Ethereals with Impale to begin with. So why are Impale effects able to roll on the Ethereals?
Don't be shy. Wow, isn't that nice? You look like you could use a new item. I'm overburdened.
At least Oh, you said lots of ashes. Yeah, I don't really know how much. Like, I don't have nowhere near enough ashes to kind of like be like to do that. To be rolling like that. That's why I got to keep going and like keep doing the thing. And I never want to see Rapid Fire again. I feel you. Best Ethereal has Rapid Fire. You play on the Americas, by the way. So NA server. The Barrage roll Vengeance. Wow. Yeah, you have a lot of flexibility in the kid. I stopped that just trying to get something that was useful on the Barrage. So the Fortress is nice. The Fortress Ballista is nice, I guess. Not technically what I'm looking for. But I would have preferred that it rolled a passive actually versus the legendary effect. But I'm not complaining. Because if rogue, grenadier pass, I can't use that at all whatsoever in this. I guess for pushing, the fortress would be very nice. I guess for speeds too, if you get hit a lot or whatnot, for the score sub time, obviously. My other breeds that I rolled has entangling shot or has the Odyssey's in effect, and that's the one I really want for the push by far. What legendary I would prefer actually for the push, Odyssey's in, yeah. Or Vengeance, so I can put Odyssey's in the queue. So whichever one would have been fine. Why that one? Because it's a lot of damage. It's if you play dual generator, you basically are your own ZDH, but it just requires more work to pull it off. But technically, it's the strongest way to play GoD6, but a lot of people don't like doing it because it's just a lot of work. Yeah, like playing with the Odyssey Zen versus any other legendary effect is about like roughly 3 GR stronger than like the normal setup. Is dual generator on Maxroll? It is, or should be. Oops. Yo, y'all leave me alone.
I have more control now.
You straight for farming? You mean the Vala's Pierce thing or whatever? Is COE really better than the Guardian set for pushing? I mean, depends. If you're lower Paragon, then I would say Guardians is better. But like, if you're pushing GoD6, I think people would assume that you're probably going to be a little bit higher Paragon, like somewhere like 24 or 2500 Paragon, maybe a little higher. And at that point, Guardian starts to kind of fall off a little bit, just because of diminishing returns with dexterity. So I mean, I think you could still do Guardians. Like the difference is rather small. But let's say if you're doing dual generator though, being able to time when you use entanglement shot, like right before the cold cycle, and then kind of just blasting with your devouring arrow, on the cold cycle, it's like huge damage. huge burst damage. But generally speaking, COE is usually considered better for a dual generator setup. Now, if you're doing like anything else, like Fortress Ballista or Valas or whatever, then like I don't think it really matters nearly as much whether you do Guardian or COE. Curious though, Bent Metal. Any reason why you like to do Valas for farming rather than just doing the Ballista for farming?
My pack is full.
See if that's good. Machine, what's going on? Use your Primal Ballista and cube the Valas. But I guess I'm asking why the Vala legendary power though for speed farming in general. Like Valas is good when you're pushing because you can when you're surrounded by a lot of enemies, it makes a lot of sense. But when you're speed farming, you don't get really any benefit at all from Valas. Like literally zero, honestly, because you're not surrounded by enough mobs for that effect to kind of take place. Yeah, that's what I was asking. I'm like, you can probably get more value off of just having Vengeance there instead of the Vala effect. Now, if you're pushing, different story, right? For sure. But yeah, speed farming, you're never surrounded by enough enemies for Vala to be effective.
You cannot afford that.
The Breeze has Vengeance on it. Oh, okay. Yeah, so if that's the case, then like, yeah, then just do Fortress in the cube, even for farming, because at least Fortress will at least give you better uptime on squirts for your farming. I feel like every day traffic bugs you more and more. You got that LA traffic, right? Or wherever you live at in Cali. $60 miles from LA. Okay. Oh, let me ask you something, Machine. I'm sure you've been keeping up with things. What do you think about Russell Westbrook to Denver? And then apparently Jokic was the one that like asked for it. feel like that's kind of been like one of the bigger developments right now in the NBA. We're just like, what? Although I mean, I think it would be. I actually think it's a great idea, honestly. As many people, regardless of what people may say about West, but I think in a system like with like Jokic or whatever, I think that would work out really well. And would be a very solid, pick, behind like, Jamal Murray or whatever. I don't see him. I don't see Russell starting, but by any means. But like, as a good as a backup point guard for sure. Unless Jamal Murray wants to play or wants to be, wants to play the two instead of point, but I still don't see that happening. He's a very well defender as well. Yeah, he is. Or he's become that. He wasn't initially, right? For some time, but he's definitely become a greater defender. Yeah, I think he's a better fit in Denver than he was in the Clippers. I still think Clippers did him wrong, though, just to be honest. But they're pretty much laying in their bed now. They basically built their graves. I wish his would rest now that he's making role player money. Fair. I mean, dude's like 30, 35, right? You're pretty much in that role at that age anyway. Very few players are, paid top dollar at that age. You got LeBron, you got Steph, you got KD. Dame, I guess he's almost at the age too, or close to getting there. Like, and even he starts to seem he's like looking like he's kind of like on the decline. I blame Flop Rivers for that though. He's awful. Fair, also fair. Did they bring back Flop Rivers? Like, did they sign him like long term or whatever? Like when they first got him like mid season, or I actually wasn't really paying attention, to be honest. Yeah, dude. I still don't know why they fired him, man. Like, why? Appreciate the follow. 4 year, 40 mil. He thought he last. Yeah, I don't think so either. He's pretty much gonna ruin Giannis and Dame's. Well, Giannis's prime and Dame's, back end of his career. You gotta. You said you gotta. You got a hot take? What's up? Yeah, another first round exit. He'll be back on TV. I will say that, you know, Bucks did get like pretty bad luck to face the Indiana Pacers in the first round, considering that was the team that was like consistently beating them in the regular season or whatever. So like you kind of knew that was over once that card was, you know, quote unquote drawn. I knew. I was just like, yeah, this is, you know. I didn't like replacing Drew. Damn. Yeah, same. Same. I know what they were trying to do, but I mean, I guess if Chris Middleton was like stayed healthier or stayed more healthy more often, then I guess they probably felt like they could have kept Drew. I guess they just felt like there wasn't enough powerhouse offense with just Giannis. But I mean, Drew could be that guy. He's just never really, like, he's not a selfish player, so he just ends up not being that guy. But I mean, he can score. I mean, he can play more offense if you want him to. Like, obviously you saw that even in Boston when you know, Boston being stacked, you know, Drew could still go off with 20 plus at any time. So I don't really think the trade was worth it for what you had left after the trade in Milwaukee. It wasn't worth it. Like, you need like another year or so to get the right pieces to be able to accompany Dame and Giannis at the point, especially Dame, considering he can't play defense. He doesn't know what defense is. And so it's like you have to really make up for that. Parents, what's going on, man? Also appreciate the sub, man. 12 months straight, 1 year. Drew may be the most disrespected player in the NBA. Well, I don't even think he cares though. Like, at least he doesn't really like let on that it bothers him or he cares about whatever. Like, he just goes out there and does his thing. That's it. You're an old man now. DeRozan will not do anything for the Kings. Honestly, I think having a veteran presence will help the Kings because the Kings are really young. Not only that, but the way that Kings play basketball is basically like loosely based off of the way Golden State Warriors used to play because of, you know, obviously the head coach. So having someone with a really good mid-range game as well will help space the floor or will help give them more options in terms of how they want to space the floor, right? So now whether it turns into like, you know, like a better, you know, team or whatnot is to be determined, but I can see why they went for it. That makes sense. I think having the veteran presence will help, considering how young they are. At the very minimum, I think that will help. Steph Curry is the absolute goat. How shocked would I be if Team USA doesn't win the gold medal? I'd be pretty shocked, honestly, with the team that's currently there. With the players, sorry, that are currently on the team. I'd be pretty shocked if they didn't. But if they didn't, I mean, I guess it wouldn't surprise me per se. But just because, like, it's very ISO. Like USA basketball is very ISO heavy. Steve Kerr tries to get more teamwork and more team ball, happening, but it's like the players are very ISO heavy on a team, and like that's just the way superstars are in general. Like, so it's not like it's out of the ordinary that or I'm saying anything that isn't like known, but the team basically has been Braun, Curry, and AD. Well, I mean, you also got. Well, I mean, but the thing is that any of the other players can step up, though. I'm also still a little interested. I find it a little interesting that who is it? That they chose Derek White over Jaylen Brown. When Kawhi dropped out. I thought that was a very interesting choice there. Brown was happy. Well, yeah, I wouldn't be either, man. Like, what? Finals MVP, Eastern Finals MVP as well. Like, bruh, come on. Not saying. I mean, Derek White is not a bad player, but like I wouldn't. There are many players. There are quite a few players that I would put on it, and on the USA team over Derek White. There's just so much talent, man. Like, there's just no way that Derek White makes it over quite a few other players. But yeah, Brown was not happy, and I don't blame him. He's been pretty vocal in the recent, man. Make Diablo great again. What up, Twisted? Hitman, what's going on? I mean, wouldn't you be if they want to glaze Tatum and you get heat all year? Yeah. If you notice when the media tried to ask Tatum about the whole why wasn't Brown picked or whatever, and he was surprised, and Tatum, you tell, was super uncomfortable. Like, he did not know what to say. Greetings, all Netflix. What's going on, man? Yeah, Tatum was so like uncomfortable with those questions. He was like, "Bro, I don't want to talk about this." Well, of course, yeah. Well, of course, Tatum had no say in that, like zero say in that. It's just like, it's just how the media was like, well, I don't say media, but like it's just I mean, what do you say? Like, I mean, you can't really say, like, even if you knew why or whatever, you can't really talk about it in the media like that, man. Like, what? Like, you're cheering for Canada? Yeah, Canada got some good players. Can't wait for the can't wait for the Rockets Lakers game. Brooks is gonna be talking shit to Ronnie on the bench. Oh, Dylan. Bronny won't be there. He'll be in the G League. That is kind of where he belongs, though. Let's be honest. Although he's had glimpses of decent play, but he's really not ready for that limelight. I think, in my opinion, it goes beyond just playing basketball, but being in the spotlight like that, like being scrutinized on like hourly basis. I just don't think he's ready for that limelight, and I don't think many people could be at his age. I can't imagine the immense pressure he's always under, considering that he's, LeBron's son, right? Like that is, and so you expect it to be like near perfect every time you step on the court. Like media is already following you around before you even get to the arena. Like media is already in your face when you wake up. Like already criticizing you with, for how you're brushing your teeth before the game, right? It's just like, look at the way he folds or look at the way he folds his blanket on the bed, right? It's like, bro, he ain't ready for the NBA, man. He ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? Like that's got to be a crazy life. I'm only halfway exaggerating too, but that's just got to be a crazy, life to be under at the moment, right? Yeah, the expectations aren't fair at all, really, but it's because of the name. It's because of his father's name. He's a good kid though. Like he's a good kid. Like as a human being, he's a good kid, right? And it's just like like I said, I can't imagine being under that pressure, and ain't no way. He should just go pro to God. Yeah. So I keep this because I don't know if I have a better wraps. I guess it's a decent wraps. Actually, did I keep another wraps and put it in a different slot? I did. Okay, so I actually have okay ones, I guess, for Yui. It looks like. Let's see. Yeah, I guess. Got some pretty decent non-ancient ones. I guess I only have one ancient one, and that's that one, and it's kind of rough.
Fortune favors. Well, isn't that nice? You look like you could look nice on you. I can't carry any more. Fortune favors. Do come back again.
He's got better shooting accuracy and Call of Duty. Oh man. Like I said though, like I like I said, I don't know. I played a lot of basketball growing up. I don't know if I'd be able to play and perform if I was in Bronny's shoes. Like I'd be always nervous as hell, always like, afraid to dribble. I mean, I'd be scared to do like legit, literally anything. I think his ceiling is a less athletic Gary Payton too. Well, yeah. I mean, he does. Bronny does pick up quick though. Like he's got good basketball IQ. or I'm gonna say basketball IQ. I say he adjusts and picks up pretty quickly. But it's kind of, I guess it's kind of hard not to when, you know, your dad's LeBron, who also has really, you know, high basketball IQ and picks up on things very quickly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, I can see that. I don't think it'll be enough to, you know, where he becomes like an all-star by any means, but I do think that he may end up being a little better than what people are suggest he would be, given what's going on now. I mean, there is fan voting. Yeah, well, true, fair. That's true. That level of expectation isn't for the faint of heart. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I'm gonna tell the truth that like I just don't think he's, you know, ready for the NBA, and that's being honest, right? But at the same time, I think he's also just not ready to play with that level of scrutiny or that level of just media presence, that level of expectation. It's nearly impossible. It's nearly impossible. I mean, only a few people who've really been able to rise and do well with that type of, like, you know, spotlight on you, right? Like it's hard. It's difficult. I can't think of any other player right now in the NBA who has that type of, like, who's under that much of a microscope at the moment, or even anybody in the past. I mean, you could think about, like, you know, maybe LeBron James when he got into the NBA, or, you know, even Victor right now, right? He's obviously under a, you know, huge microscope as well. But you got Bronny under a microscope for, you know, watching, you know, his, you know, seeing whether he can actually play. And then you got the fact that he's LeBron's son. So it's like a double whammy there, man. So it's just like it's crazy. Usually a star's player's son ends up being a role player at best. But I mean, we can always talk about like what happened to Jordan's sons, right? Yeah. I think, who was it? Actually did was Scottie Pippen's son was actually doing pretty well in college, right? Is he still in college, or what happened to him? I really haven't been following. He's on the Heat. Oh, he's on the Heat Summer League team. Yeah. And the role player's son has the potential to be the GOAT. What up, Peachin? He's playing well. Oh yeah, like just, yeah. Sky Pippen's son is good. He's not getting the credit I think that he deserves in the media, because you know what they all care about right now. Kobe, Steph, etc. Yeah, true. Yeah, those were sons of role players, right? Yeah. Shaq sound good. I don't even know anything about Shaq son. To be honest with you, which one he got like 10? Facts. Said not at all. Couldn't even get on the floor at UCLA. Oh man. So I guess who knows? Bronny may be the first, like, son to actually break the mold of, being, well, garbage. Or being, garbage after his father is like a legend or whatever. It's gonna be Bryce. Looked at a PoE build guide and it was easily 20 times longer than D4 build guide. Good grief. Yeah, it sounds about right. Sounds about right. Pig. I sees you. How much would you want to bet on that? LeVar Bar too. LeVar Ball too. He's better than Jordan, right? Yeah, more than I would on Bronny. Melo has his kid. And there's the Boozer twins too. I pity the balls. Their body got overworked. Now they're struggling with injuries. Yeah. I've always felt bad for the balls. Hey, this just sounds so weird saying that. Just because of who their father was. Don't get me wrong, I mean, their father definitely, like, did right by them in terms of, like, getting them into the NBA, but everything else that came along with it, though, like, could have, like, went away, all that other stuff was not necessary. It was probably those cheap big baller brand sneakers they wore. Is that LOL? I'm sorry. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, it's not really an incorrect choice of words. I mean, obviously both balls aren't really, are injured at the moment. So I mean, but it's kind of crazy that LaMelo could have actually been a Golden State Warrior, right? Golden State absolutely flubbed on that. Although I think, you know, even though he would have been like a backup to Steph or something, because he's really not a shooting guard. I guess he wouldn't be able to, like, you know, come out, you know, shining like he is now at Charlotte, but he would get better development, I think, if he would have went to Golden State. Do you think overtraining when young contributed to the injury issues? I mean, you can that can, yeah, because like you're putting them out, you know, like I mean, being young is one thing, as in like being able to heal and like, you know, like regenerate and like bounce back or whatever, but like everyone's human. Like your body's not invincible. So like if you're running your body ragged, like, you know, that early, you could literally be like 21, 22, but then your body has the wear and tear of a 30-year-old plus. Like, you know what I mean? Like that is a thing. Biggest career shorter is like true, very true. Where they Jordan Love and Tua got paid way too much. I'm interested to I'm actually interested to see how everything kind of pans out. A lot of times I'm usually really not that interested in the off season or the beginning of a season in, well, literally any sport really, to be honest. But the past couple of years I've been more engaged just because of the moves that have been made. Just seems to be a little more interesting than what I'm used to. So I'm like, oh, this is happening. Okay, cool. All right, well, you know, we'll see. Bryce Young needs to be averaged and explode after they pay him pennies. It's crazy how top players will see me making over 100 mil a year. Yeah, I guess you got to keep up with that inflation, right? because we all knows, you know, we all know the entertainment industry absolutely needs help in that area, right? Okay, pig jumping in. Offer 1.1 billion. He turned it down. What you been about is the NBA and TNT's broadcasting is in it. Yeah, that is so messed up. That is like extremely messed up. How that's being dealt, man. Barkley was has been very vocal the entire time about the whole process. We'll see where the lawsuit goes. No. ESPN NBA coverage is terrible. It really is bad. Like it is god awful. Like anytime like you know the game was like not being covered by TNT, man, I was always kind of like you know, it's like do I just watch the highlights or do I really want to watch the game? Mainly, obviously, mainly the halftime stuff and the post game things, but still, it's just like ESPN only wins a commentary over TNT broadcast. Well, yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty close. ESPN has horrible coverage for all sports now. Money talks, man. It rolled 100%, but the cold damage is low. Already got a good chest. It's kind of fair. The Mannies did say Monday Night Football last year. Manning's with Belichick this year could be interesting. I mean, these are known names, though, right? It's like they're gonna bring more attention, more people, becoming more interested in watching just because it's like, hey, I recognize that name. Oh, that name. I think it has less about them being great at it, but more so just the star power of the name. Not saying they were bad. Like they're not bad. Like the Mannings aren't bad at all. But they're good. But the name carries more than more than anything. As long as Bill keeps the sleeveless hoodies on. The rest of Tom Brady was hilarious. I heard he got a little like butthurt over like one comment that was made. I don't remember what it was. The lo-fi rendition of Hotline Bling. Perfect. How much Paragon do you think got these for 150? I don't know. I have to probably look at the check the leaderboards. Let's take a look at God. Everybody got these really high Paragons. So the lowest one is 2150, but I think you can probably get it below. But what did he do with? He have to keep Guardian on. So, well, actually, what did he? What? Oh, because he actually rolled a really good. He's a like he. I guess this. Okay, so yeah, this is a good. Okay, so he got some prime with this. That's really hard to get. Yeah. So I mean, I guess looking at the his gems are also 150. Okay, so yeah, so he did. Okay, so he did this after he did the other sets. Because ain't no way you're leveling up these gems to 150 in solo self found with GoD6. That ain't happening. He had to have pushed a different set. Chris. But yeah, I mean, given gear like this and legendary gems like this, I think you can probably get it happen. 1800 Paragon roughly, maybe. Also, if you go dual generator, that's also another thing. Dual generator after you save off a couple of hundred Paragon if you did it that way. It's because dual generators, a little stronger. You have a lot of guys who see like the 148. He was at 18. Actually, let's see what his gear looks like. He doesn't have perfect gems. They're pretty high up there. He didn't even he didn't he just didn't even bother with doing sockets. Instead he just kind of kept. I know why he did that, but man, that is all right. Yeah. Sure thing. Main traps. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you can with some crazy amount of fishing, you can do 150. Around 1800 Paragon, I think. No War Gen, I know Slick J. I think they weren't really trying hard. You said no stricken required? Nah. They look on Maxroll for the bigger sample. Yeah, I didn't want to like switch over the scenes or whatever. I just kind of want to see get an idea of what some people that I know pretty well and like what they're doing. No stricken required? No. Not on GoD6, no. You can actually kill the Rift Guardian without a pretty decent amount of time without streaking on GoD6. Kind of want to look at the other leaderboards here as well. Let's see what the Marauders doing. Also, what UE is doing. Am I using Enchantress for my follower? Yeah, I prefer Enchantress. On EU, someone cleared Year 150 or GoD6 with 1600 Paragon. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See that's about what I was thinking. That is possible. I think if you like put a lot of effort in and getting the right master fishing or whatnot, I think it's possible. Yeah. Or I thought it would be possible. I'm gonna do dual generator though. That's gonna be my thing. So hopefully it shouldn't take as much fishing. Hopefully, but I guess we'll see. But I'm gonna need some hella good gems though. I got some ways to go. I think actually after this set of keys, I need to start putting together my gear pieces and see where they are. I may not have like all the augments for them yet, but I need to at least know like what's up. Where's all my Paragon going? All decks? Yep. At least, yeah. I generally do. But I also play pretty glass cannon, so. Speaking of Paragon, probably should throw all that in there. Let's take a look at see Marauder. Obviously these two. Yay! Tummy rubs with a 150. Slick J. Actually, yeah, Slick J. What you Oh, he did no gen. Okay. Maelstrom. Okay. That's cool. That's cool. I don't think I would have did it this way though. With Traveler's Pledge. I guess you could. I guess that does kind of make sense. Yeah, I guess you could do it that way. Yeah, that makes sense. I need something like this though. I need a bow like this for my Marauder setup. I have a really good quiver, but I need a wind force like this. I'm surprised he kind of stopped here though. Why didn't he continue? Okay, so like yesterday. Is he hit this yesterday? I'm assuming he's still going on that. It's pretty standard here. Obviously standard. Okay. So I was actually expecting more 150s on my router than I see, at least on the on the NA realm, I guess. So actually, I might need to start with GoD6 then. I don't think so though, because I mean, yeah. When Jay, what's going on? Take a look at Yui. All right, so ain't much going on. Whoa, what'd you do? This Hungry Arrow Yui? Yep. Well, yeah, yep. That's exactly what it is. Kind of makes sense though, because the breeze is actually really freaking good for Hungry Arrow. So Hungry Arrow Yui is actually stronger than people think. Although still, I would never play this in a serious manner. Yeah, but all right. This is Shadow. Of course, Natalia. Yeah. 1400 Paragon clear for Natalia's. Makes sense. But all right. Oh, cool. Well, definitely UE won't be the 150, but I think I might be able to pull off the 150 on GoD6 and Marauder. But I'll go for something like for UE. I might have to go for like maybe so somewhere in the 140s range, given my Paragon. Let's see what the thing is here. Actually surprised there's no Fortress on there. I guess because he got Vengeance one. The Fortress Ballista would have been better. But I'm actually interested in this, but I actually want to do Fire UE versus physical. Only like mainly because I can actually do steady aim and ambush, which is something you can't do with Fire normally because you get the 5th passive. So I'm actually considering Fire over physical. Denario, what's going on? I see you. Offline mode. Am I really on offline mode? I might be. I don't even pay attention to my status usually on the BNet app. Doing some 150s meta. Oh, you are? So you don't know how like so found? Cause it's the competitive aspect of it is more fair. So like if you're someone who likes to kind of like compete on the leaderboards or whatever, there's a little less cheating versus like the regular boards in general. Not to mention there is a feeling of like, you know, you finding everything yourself or you're doing everything yourself, and then you're competing against someone else that you can that also did everything themselves and not, you know, had help or whatever. So there is that like feeling of that. There are other games you can play solo. The D3 was a multiplayer focused game. Actually, I don't think there really is a focus on single player or multiplayer per se, but actually the reality is that when they do balance stuff in Diablo 3 and stuff, or when they did it for they did it with solo play in mind. They didn't balance for group play at all. They weren't gonna do that. But you could choose to, you know, to play however you want to play, right? But I think I don't know. I've always enjoyed like solo play and stuff like this. Because keep in mind, action RPGs, keep in mind, like this category, like, you know, RPGs or whatever, like was actually more of solo, right? Like if you think about, you know, how, you know, when RPGs originated back in the day, right? It was mostly solo player, like solo, you know, playing. I mean, there were some multiplayer games per se, obviously at the time, but like a lot more RPGs were like a solo experience. Let me change the status here. There we go.
That is too expensive.
Ever tried Torchlight? I did. I like. It was a good experience, but not anything I felt like I can play long term. For me, it's kind of difficult to grind multiple different games. Like, it's hard to grind multiple different action RPGs. So like when I play a different game or I'm playing other games on the side, it has to be different than an action RPG or a grind set game. Because I just don't have time. Like, especially if I'm making content for one game, you know, or a specific game, like, you know, let's say Diablo games or whatever, then I just don't have time to be in the know in that, as well as grind a different like action RPG. That's why you don't really see me do like a lot of like Last Epoch as well or Path of Exile as well. I just don't have time to do that because I'm not like a full-time content creator, right? So I can't really spend the time hopping, you know, between the those particular games to kind of keep up with everything. But like, let's say if I'm playing like a game, like a fighting game that I'm already well versed in or something, like Smash Ultimate or whatever, like I can boot that up and play that and it's fine because I've been playing that for a while. So like, I can just boot that up, you know, play, you know, maybe an hour's worth of matches and I'm fine. I don't have to grind in the game to have fun or to, you know, get a little bit of that, you know, competitive, you know, endorphins going on. Do I like chicken meal? Actually, I don't even know what that is. I've heard the name, but I don't know what that is. Food? I thought we were talking about games, so I'm just like what, I'm like, what kind of game is that? I didn't know you was going to a whole different topic. I think it is rare that you will run into people, or it's a rarity just to run into someone who doesn't like chicken at some capacity, whether it's fried chicken, grilled chicken, boiled chicken, steamed stewed chicken. Let's see. Boiled chicken, yeah, boiled chicken. It is a thing, and it has like a different, like when you do so, it's like a different taste.
Shut up and take my money.
Danaria donated $10. Buy some KFC.
Buy some KFC. Actually, they're closed right now. Otherwise, I'd probably DoorDash me some. Actually, no, wait a minute. It's a Friday night. They actually might be open for a little bit. My man, guess what? They're implementing one of my ideas in the next Diablo 4 season. Which one is that? Redbeard? Oh, I know. I know you. Flurry, right? Which one of your ideas are they putting up for Flurry? Oh, the additional roll for each GA item. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. They. I remember they mentioning that in the campfire chat. Yeah, I think it's definitely a good change. Tell me, Rubs, let me ask you a question. I need your input. If you're there, I know you're probably lurking, grinding. Potassium. I concur, sir. I concur. But what was easier for you to push to 150 with, your Marauders or the GoD6? M6 by amount, okay. Your ZDH and then 150 party at the moment, okay. M6 owns Nats, owns GoD6. Okay, I'm just curious. I guess the way that I'm gonna be playing some M6 won't be as strong of a variant. Like the way I'm gonna do it is gonna be like a GR and a half to 2 GRs weaker than like the typical cluster arrow setup. But it's gonna be a lot more fun for me to play. So. Yeah, you suck a GoD6. You can understand that push. Honestly, man, it's probably less about understanding the push. I mean, GoD6 just has considerably more scenarios that are just awful to play in. And I think just recognizing what those scenarios are and understanding not to waste time on it just makes the push, quicker, I guess, getting to the better scenarios. So like, it's just a lot fishier because so many things can go wrong for GoD6. That's the thing. Like if you're sitting there and you pull like 4 or 5 elites, right? Let's say on GoD6 you pull like 4 or 5 elites, right? I guarantee you one of them is gonna have illusionist, right? And if one of them has illusionist and you're trying to do a really high run, your run is already over. Same thing with Waller, but to a lesser extent, if you can at least get the speed pylon, which is at that point you actually do want a speed pylon. If you do have a Waller in there somewhere, of the 4 or 5 at least you drag, you actually do want a speed pylon. But yeah, it's just so many things can go wrong. No matter how perfect of a scenario it is, like if one thing goes wrong, you're almost your entire run is ruined. So it's just kind of one of those things. It's just that you just recognizing when you just aren't gonna, you know, clear that, just like you would in other pushes, but it's just a bit more strict, I guess, on GoD6. Obviously, like maps like these are really, really bad because of the whole like sand thing eats up your arrows. Those sand wall eats up your arrows. Walls eat up your arrows. Everything eats up your arrows. Illusionist eats up your arrows. Yeah. Shielding is also like rough because your arrows might, you know, randomly target the shielding mob at like the 4th or 5th pierce or the 4th pierce or whatever, and there goes your damage. So it's just kind of like, it's just so many things, man, that just goes on, that just goes wrong.
My training has paid off.
Ironically enough, GoD6 is really good against the Rift Guardian, so it's like that's the one thing that you do like about you GoD6 in general is just, you know, the Rift Guardian doesn't take too long. All right, I need to probably start gearing up my
Good paperweight. Unoverburdened.
M6.
Fortune favors. Well, isn't that nice?
Yeah, I'm actually excited. I'm actually excited to play no gen
You look like you could
multi-shot M6.
that is too expensive.
Also tell them that the all resistant rings and Emmy should be GA. I think hitting resist caps has been pretty easy nowadays. D4. I think what they should do is explore more with what do we do with the extra armor or extra resist that we have or that we can possibly get, because, you know, since we can cap them, right? So like maybe have like other effects or whatever that, you know, that continues to scale or something with those stats, even though you might not get more armor or more, you know, resist or, you know, more damage reduction or whatnot, but like maybe those stats will scale in like a different way, so they don't just become completely useless the moment that you're capped. I ain't gonna lie, Denaria, KFC is actually sounding pretty good right now. The more I think about it, because by the time I get off streaming, which I'm not gonna do a pretty long stream tonight, so by the time I get off streaming, I'm gonna be hungry, and I think that's gonna be that'll still be open. So yeah, I'm actually kind of feeling that. I need more primals to drop, man. That's what I really need. Like my primal luck has been pretty awful in terms of just primal droppings, like just dropping in general. Because I really need to roll that weapon. That's the big thing. I don't have a good ethereal for M6 yet. And it's gotta have the right rolls on it. Like I can't compromise on it. Might be one of those things where I might have to just reforge instead of trying to do a custom primal on, because I just may not have the mats to do a freaking custom primal. Doomslinger.
I'm here to help. I am returning to town. You look like you could use it. I've become more formidable.
I guess I could do like maybe like 1 minute runs or whatever, like 1 minute and 10, 1 minute and 20 minute, 1 minute and 20 runs if I really want to try to squeeze out more chances for primals. Yeah, I need to farm more keys because I generally don't farm that many keys. But I'm pretty sure I'm like, maybe got like 10 left, 9 left. Maybe a teeny more than that. Because this is by bringing the vision key count back up. I think they just really wanted to not make Nephilim rifts like completely useless. Right? That was the point. Which I can understand that. But it does feel kind of horrible to like at least the key drop right now, right? And the visions still feel, you know, pretty bad. They can buff Rift key count. I guess they could do that too. True.
I'm here to help. I am returning to town. My training has paid off.
What's that look like right now? 14 keys. That was close. Hey, 85. 84. Guess I'll hold on to it. Until I can roll intel on it.
You look like you could use me come back again. My pack is full. Fortune favors. Don't forget, luck always changes.
Actually, how many custom primers do I have right now?
That is too expensive.
I'm not maybe one at the mass, primordial ashes. Can't be much. Only 240. So I got like 2 rolls I can do. Maybe 3.
Yo,
Angelic
Dark
Cypher with the
Side.
raid.
We just got raided, son.
What up, sir?
You know how we do. Drop my new beat for these new viewers. Sheezy out.
What's happening?
Angelic Cypher raided my stream with 7 views.
I'm just chilling at the moment, cause or chilling in D3 at the moment, cause there's not really much going on. That was weird. What did I just burp up? That was like the weirdest thing. Sorry, that was like weird. Hold on. That was really weird. Appreciate the follow. Long shot. Yeah, I'm trying to deal with some health stuff at the moment. I found out that I kind of have like some chronic pain, chronic nerve, or chronic pain, nerve damage, nerve issues at the moment. That was kind of aggravated more by the hernia surgery that I had. So trying to find ways to deal or have a better quality of life with this condition, I guess you can call it. Angelic dragged you here. Well, what up? Yeah, so this week has been interesting. I've been prescribed gabapentin and I had like a nerve block shot on Wednesday. So my side effects have been really weird most of the week, which is actually why I didn't stream yesterday. I was feeling quite awful in general. But I just stop doing that to myself. I wish I knew what I did to cause whatever it is I'm going through at the moment. You know, cure for my pain, D4 season 5. the distraction will help mentally, for sure. We'll get some D4 news next week, which I'm excited for. August 1st, right, or something like that. Campfire chat, yeah. Campfire chat is I think August 1st next week. And hopefully we'll get some patch notes and we'll be back to building D4 planners for new builds and updating, you know, Maxroll builds and maybe making new builds on Maxroll. We'll see. I don't know why they gotta wait till the last minute to announce it. You mean the campfire or? Where to get information on type of things that'll be in season 5. I saw Makuna attempting to build for season 5. I thought, I mean, people are so like, I guess Blizzard gave us a little bit of information like a week and a half ago in terms of like some things that are possibly changing. So some creators kind of went over that in a sense, like, you know, like on the stream or YouTube videos or whatever, but it wasn't the whole thing. Like it wasn't the big shebang of notes or whatever. So some creators, you know, did go about, you know, starting to somewhat theory craft what could be possible. But I mean, to be realistic though, because so many uniques are changing or getting upgraded or whatever like that, and the new uniques are getting nerfed, and we don't know how much they're getting nerfed with, then it's like you can't really make a build right now. You can't really technically make or finish up an actual build. Not saying that content creators won't try, but like you can't legit make one right now and know that it's going to work. It's impossible, which is why like some of us are just like, yeah, we'll just wait until we get some patch notes. Like that's what I'm doing. That's what Woody's doing. That's what, like, you know, a lot of the other guys are doing. Just like we're just waiting, because it's like we just don't know. We don't know what's gonna be good, what's not gonna be good. We don't know what's gonna be, you know, bug fixed, what's not gonna be bug fixed. So it's like, you know, why stress myself out now if I don't know what's gonna be good. AKA Spots commentary pre-Super Bowl. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Sports commentators, I mean, meant to say. Yeah, but yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I have ideas. Like I have like outlines, I guess you could say. Like I have outlines of what I might want to do for a lot of like the rogue stuff, but I don't have anything concrete because you can't. So like, for instance, I'll give you an example. Like it didn't look like, at least with the information we got like a week and a half ago, they didn't seem to bug fix victimize that was on the PTR. Not the victimize that double dips in current season, but the victimize in the PTR was reverted back to season 3's victimize, which nothing really worked with it. So they didn't fix it. It's just been it's bugged again, but in the opposite way, where it's considerably worse versus being considerably better. So hopefully we were hoping that they would fix it too, so therefore things would single dip, like everything would work the way it's supposed to and nothing would double dip. Well, they kind of broke Victimize, and in the most recent showing of stuff, we didn't see anything that mentioned Victimize was going to be fixed from what it was in the PTR, which is bad. Like, that's really bad. If that's the case, then Heartseeker has to go a whole different direction in terms of key passive is concerned. Same thing with pin shot, right? But it's stuff like this that we just don't know, because it's like, well, if Victimize works the way it's supposed to, then, like, you know, Heartseeker and pin shot are now, you know, back to being good builds going into the next season. But like, if it's not fixed from what is PTR, then we have to completely build a whole different key passive for those two builds, especially. And that's major, especially Heartseeker, given how popular Heartseeker was in season 4. So like, that's kind of been on my mind, where I'm like, what am I going to segue to, you know, for Heartseeker, like, setups or whatever, and like, will it be as viable as you know, as it was in season 4, and all those kind of things. But I have, like I said, I have ideas. I just haven't really, like, you know, put a whole planner out, because it's like there are just too many unknowns. They'll most likely patch it later. I mean, well, I'm hoping they do it before season 5 launches. That'd be nice. It'd be nice if they did it then. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping they do. That's the thing. Like, it should be a thing that gets patched, but because it wasn't mentioned and other bug fixes were mentioned, you know, a week and a half ago, or almost 2 weeks ago to us, then it's kind of like, well, how come that wasn't mentioned? That's a pretty big deal. So that's my concern. You want to run down, need some food, and head to bed before the next stream? Enjoy stuff. Appreciate you too. Enjoy your food. Like the babies who are DDoSing due to Holy Boy Hope being nerfed. You mean bug fix? I bet you that's what that was. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. I need some promos to drop, yo. RNG. I'll hold on to it. Might be better than the one I already got. Oh, that crit damage is so low.
Fortune favors. That's nice. Can I have it back? You look like you could. I didn't even know I can't carry any more. Fortune favors. Maybe you can find a use for that. Someday.
Chill Fate. What's going on? You say you know this game? How's it going? I had me a pretty late start, you know, to being in Cali when you know, when the release of the season happened. I was like, no. Obviously, I wasn't gonna like not go to Cali, but I saw that Friday so far. Yeah, yeah. So trying to gear up just enough for me to get like the pushes I want to do this weekend, so I can when I get the when more information for D4 next week hits, I can like focus on that and make planners and stuff. But until then, it's like, because this is a good season. Like Ethereal's is always a poppin' season, so. So even though I couldn't do my normal, chase rank 1 world, day 4, day 5, that I normally would do, I can at least try to get a couple of 150s, on the sets I want to do them in. So we'll see. But yeah, man, how have you been? In general. Did a lot of the D3 cheaters stop? He's more enjoyable looking back at it now. I would probably say no. It's just that I guess you have less people playing in general than you normally would, and therefore that also includes the cheaters. So less people are playing, less cheaters are playing per se. Also, with the new solo self-found thing, kind of curbs a good chunk of the cheating because or botting, I'll put it that way. So like, not saying people aren't botting. I mean, yeah, they are. There's less effect on like solo self-found than like, let's say, in group play the way it is. So like it's just overall, I mean, you're gonna see it less, but it still exists. You're never gonna ever like have a game period that has either an economy or a competitive element where there is no cheating going on. In some way. Definitely more account sharing, so found. Yeah, I do know about that. I know about that. Some of them are pretty obvious too, because it's kind of like I know some of the I know some of the players that play, like it's just competing against them all the time, and like I know what I know what sets they like to push and what sets they can't stand. So when I see an account from an individual that like I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That person likes pushing that set. But then the moment that like I see that person plays this one set that he or she never plays, ever pusher ever plays, I'm like, yeah, that ain't you. That is not you. Like I'll put it this way. It would be very sus right now. Like if I like if you saw like a 150 clear on Shadow on my account this season, I'd be very sus. He's like, no, that is not the outside for sure. I mean, I like Shadow, but I'm definitely not gonna push Shadow on the ethereal season. Nah, that ain't happening. Say very good all around, extremely busy at work. Fair. There's a lot of things going on at in Blizzard right now. A lot. So Hope you guys are getting good rest and taking care of yourselves. While being able to manage the expectations, the extremely high expectations that we as consumers tend to have for you guys. I felt the build I always liked in D3 was Z-Barb for playing for groups. Z-Barb is actually one of the like interactive and like, you know, like having a good Z-Barb makes a huge difference in groups, man. Like you can't just take any Z-Barb in a group and expect to do, you know, to be efficient or do as well, man. Z-Barb is so crucial to be good at or good with. ZDH is just payphone most of the time. Yeah, ZDH is rather brain dead relative to Z-Bar. I mean, there is a difference between a good ZDH and a bad ZDH, but the difference is way smaller than like than like Z-Bar. Now for ZDH is mostly, did you entangle the thing? If the answer is yes, then like 90% of your job is done. Like, good job, good job. You did it. You did good. You did good. Yeah, I love playing ZDH. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying like just what it takes to play ZDH is way less than what it takes to play Z-Barb in a sense. But I mean, ZDHs are also very important, obviously too. But Jaybird, what's going on? Time to exercise the Diablo things. You can diaper fix the keyboard and what has ZDH? Pretty much. Let me some Z-Neck. I actually, believe it or not, the chat's probably gonna think I'm lying, but I actually did play a Z-Bar back in the day. Not like in a for real sense, but I actually made a Z-Bar and played a little bit of Z-Bar. Like this is before my content creating days or whatever. Just because of the people said it was fun, so I was like, you know what, sure. But Pixar didn't have it. I know, right? Crazy. I actually did. I never actually made a Z-Neck though. Never bothered with that. That was your brother, Chris. Oh man. I mean, I did an attempt to experiment on other classes. That it doesn't sound like me. I know. I think, but this is around the time frame I think I really wasn't really like. I think I was playing D3, but like I was definitely more on the casual side and thing. Like I'll blast like the first week and then I'll stop. Like for the rest of the season kind of thing. Like, that's kind of like, it was around that time frame where I just wasn't, I was like interested in like Monster Hunter World at the time and even some hero. I think I played a lot of Heroes of the Storm. D3 was kind of like on the back burner for me, even though I did play sparingly. So you love Monster Hunter World? It was a fun game. I kept getting picked on because I would always play like dual blades. I also played bow a lot too, but dual blades was just so much fun. And everybody's like, bro, really, you're that guy? I'm like, yeah, I'm that guy. Like, how can you sit here and have a weapon and a single attack that turns your character into Levi from Attack on Titans? Like how can you not want to be Levi? Like, that was like the primary reason why I played dual blades, is just to get on top of the monster's back and just do that really cool like circle attack or whatever, like that spinning attack. Like that was so much fun. But apparently I wasn't playing Monster Hunter World right, or I wasn't playing Monster Hunter right because I was using dual blades. But like I said, man, if I can be Levi, I was gonna be Levi, man. Is Hades 2 out globally? It's in early access. I think it's not gonna be out for a while. But it's in early access. You can play it now, like globally. $680 Paragon, gonna grind at 1,000, finish getting some gear, loot higher gems. Using Dead Man's Legacy, Yang's Recurve, multi-shot strafe. Wait, multi-shot strafe? Really? Like, in this season? I'd like to see play other games that are not action RPGs. Would be fun to see. We could play Banana, Electro. We can have a Banana stream. What you think? What do you mean? You said other games that are not action RPGs. Banana is not an action RPG, at least not that I know of. What's wrong with Banana? If you guys, for those in the chat who do not, or who like that do not know what Banana is, you should totally look it up. It's a Steam game. Best game of all time, by the way. Like, no, not who's there. No. Banana, yeah. Well, that's what. That's what. Yeah. Electro said, "I would love to see you play another game sometime. Other games sometimes that aren't action RPGs." So I mentioned Banana, and he said no. I don't understand. That qualifies, yeah. No. We've been trying to reach you about your no insurance. Yeah, I think about it. I mean, I think that the thing is the funny part though, Electro one, is that I like my early days of streaming, like the first year-ish of streaming, I would sometimes play other games that wasn't action RPGs. Mostly it was like maybe like Smash Ultimate, like obviously a fighting game. Like I have a lot of fun actually streaming that, especially when I have people in chat that will like want to come in and like, you know, play. That are definitely more seasoned, so like it's challenging and it's hard. Yeah, I would do that. I think I played some Archon mode StarCraft 2 with Iria way back in the day, sometimes on stream. That was fun. I did, what was it? I also did some Heroes of the Storm stream. Actually, you know what's funny? I actually I would play both at the same time. Like I would be searching for a Heroes of the Storm game while farming keys or whatever, or GRs in Diablo 3. So like I would go back and forth between the two. And because like, you know, the search times were like crazy. And Heroes of the Storm at the time. I mean, it is now too, but like it's pretty bad. Like once you're ranking up, and especially at that late of the evening or whatever, like your search times are like crazy. So yeah, but yeah, I used to actually do a lot of those things. I mean, I guess now I can look at it now and be like, maybe it would be received better by my audience, or maybe like, you know, my audience would stick around and like watch other things like that. But definitely not around that time. Like anytime that I would stream like those kind of games or something like that, like I might have like 4 or 5 people watching at the time. Not that I care about the view count so much, you know, then at the time, but it was just like, it would get like pretty quiet and like lonely in the chat. I had like nobody to talk to because no one was watching at the time. So, or they were lurking maybe, you know, to listen to music or whatever. So, but I feel you though. I mean, I could consider some other things. Trying to think of what I would like that isn't action RPGs. Other than like maybe fighting game, like a fighting game or fighting games. I'm not really great at like shooters. I could play like the first Ascendant maybe. That looks like a fun game. And Banana too. I think I'd be pretty good at that. Banana doesn't even keep score across play sets. But that's how you know it's hardcore, Electro. Like keeping score and stuff is like for the casuals, right? Like, you know, like only the hardcore players play Banana. I mean, we have to keep your own score. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how, you know, that's like for the old school gamers. You know what I'm saying? None of this like, you know, like data era where, you know, the game keeps track of everything for you. No, man, we go back to old school roots, man. We take our own scores. Just like when we play spades and stuff like that, right? When we play spades, like, you know, the card game or whatever, yeah, we take our own score. We don't need nobody tracking our own scores. Like that. Get that casual mess out of here. 2025, and then I'm using the TI-84 calculator. I'm sure you could probably get it to run a microwave, probably. I'm pretty sure. Microwave, you could probably get it to run a printer. Hell, I don't know, like, somebody might be good enough to get it to run on like a Xerox machine. For those who are old enough to know what a Xerox machine is. Pitiful, what's going on? I'm 99% sure we're on the fridge screen. Yeah, but see, the difference is how many people have a fridge screen, right? Like that, you know, that's for those people that, like, you know, have those high tech fridges or whatever. Like, so, you know, you're definitely you're making it for a fridge screen would definitely, like, you know, alienate most of your player base. So you definitely got to get, you know, to at least run on like a TI-84, TI-83 plus at like the very minimum, right? You could probably get to run an etch and sketch maybe too. I mean, you got options that, you know, are a bit less expensive or demanding, right? You can set it so if you don't click the banana, the fridge doesn't open. Whenever you get the rare bananas, it prints it out for you. Oh man.
I'm overburdened.
Shit, don't hear me.
Good to see you. I need to go back.
Is Beneforce any good for GoD6? No. Nope. But if it's the only ethereal you got, then yeah, sure. Like if you don't have a like a ballista or something like that. Sorry, not ballista. A Bariza. Then yeah, sure, wear. But like, I mean, it's technically not considered good for GoD6.
You look like you could use a new item.
What game is this?
I can't carry
Not banana for sure. Diablo 3.
fortune favors the
It's where a lot of us D4 creators kind of came from.
fortune favors the bold. I cannot afford that. Can I
Ooh, actually, this actually didn't roll. This actually didn't roll too bad. Well, yeah, well, I mean, I don't like having the hole in my quiver like that. It's still better than nothing. No, I guess it's better than what I got. Actually, no, no, not really. Get them side by side. Not really, no. I mean, I guess I can roll the socket into multi-shot, but this actually gives me cooldown reduction. So the reality is that this is probably more damage than this. That this just looks better and gives me some vitality, but I don't know. I guess if I go Fortress Ballista, then the vitality is actually worth. I guess I'll hold on to it. Didn't make it past the real money auction. I was getting. Oh yeah, that's like ancient Diablo 3. The game is vastly different than what it was at that time. And this is coming from someone who played at that time. Like I played at launch and through the entire, auction house fiasco. But yeah, it's definitely a different game than then. Yeah, it's very different. In a good way. In a good way. It's a legendary wild sword. D4 isn't the Diablo game yet. I feel like Diablo games aren't Diablo games yet until the expansion. Like when the expansion hits, it's kind of like, oh yeah. We're for real this time. Like we're for real this time. Which is more so of like not even that, but more so of like usually having the time to do exactly, to do what you really want to do. Whereas usually at launch you're at the mercy of maybe a not so great development cycle and things happening, and then the higher ups are more concerned about money in terms of like a launch, right? Launching at a certain window, even though the devs are like, we're not ready yet, it's like, well, too bad, we need to make X amount of money for this fiscal quarter, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, launch the damn game. And so that shit happens, right? And then what's funny though? So while I'm on this topic, did you guys see the I don't know if it's IGN or a PC game or one of the two. There was a report on like how the investors were asking the developers Capcom to release Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch at the same time as releasing Monster Hunter Rise on the other platforms. They were saying, how come you can't just release it all at once so we can make more money? Literally, legit, I'm not even kidding you that this is what they asked them. The devs are just like, well, the Switch is a different platform, obviously, that it has technical limitations compared to the typical platforms we released this for, right? Then they were saying, and then the investors asked, hey, why can't you just release it early, like in December, so we can rack up the sales? And like, it's so funny how Capcom had to like tiptoe around just being like, are you fucking serious right now? Because the investors just don't understand. Like, they just don't get it or don't understand. But you have to give them an answer because they, whatever. But it was so funny, like just like watching or reading like Capcom like tiptoeing around, the what the whatchamacallits. It's so bad. So like, yeah, so like I think the thing is that I don't think people really realize how widespread this issue is, where meeting a bottom line or pleasing investors or whatever is kind of really, I won't say killing gaming, but is definitely has put us in a situation where we don't get a full product or we don't get a complete product because simply speaking, the dollars are more important, or the release date is more important, or hitting a fiscal, or hitting the fiscal goal, whatever like that, is more important. And it's just like, it sucks. Like that sucks. But that's what happens when like these studios are part of like really big corporations where they don't really get to call the shots anymore. Like Blizzard used to be. Like Blizzard used to call their own shots because they were their own thing. So I do miss the days where Blizzard could say, it's ready when it's ready, right? Or Blizzard soon, right? But they would not release a game if it wasn't ready, when it was just Blizzard. So obviously those days are over because now Blizzard is part of a much bigger, company, right? Naturally, and the same thing with the merger with with Activision. Then same thing, same ordeal. So yeah, that's been a lot of, like, and interestingly enough, that had a big effect on Diablo 4 as well. And a lot of games, really. Like I said, I just, told you exactly what the shareholders call was about Monster Hunter Rise coming to Switch. Like, hey, yeah, just release it on Switch. Like, having no idea how development works or how long it takes for them to actually, make a different platform for Switch, because you cannot sit there and just develop for Switch alongside at the same time as the other games and get the game out early for Christmas like they want at the same time. Like, they already don't want to change the release date to Christmas because they just wouldn't be ready to do it, and the shareholders wanted them to release on Switch at the same exact time. Like, what the hell? Like, they have no idea what goes into this at all, and this happens behind the scenes all the freaking time. And the fact that they have to tiptoe around these, well, idiots that just don't know, like they don't know. It's just mind-boggling to me. But that's where it is. That is where we are. Also, Jimin, what's up, man? The auction house best feature in D3. It had its pluses. I like the idea of being able to trade in the game, right? In some way, shape, or form. Like, you know, list up an item, you know, go look for items yourself. I think that part of it makes sense, right? Mr. Mark, what's going on, right? What's going on, dude? So actually, I would like a marketplace of some sort in D4. It'd be nice. I think the idea of how we trade now is just so archaic, you know, in a 2024 game, right? 2023 game, 2020, you know, in 2024, where you have to kind of like go outside, you know, like a Discord to kind of like find out who's trading what, or go to a third-party website, friend them, message them, find some way to meet up and see somewhere in the game in one of the towns, and then actually like, you know, hit the trade button or the, you know, the trade window thing to actually be able to make a transaction. Like, that's just so much work for a single item, which, you know, just seems so outdated of a way to trade in a sense. Yeah, I remember a friend of yours bought a ring for his girlfriend selling stuff on D3. Yeah, man, you can make, yeah, you can make some, you know, some real cash doing it, man. I made I spent most of my time on a gold auction house rather than the real money auction house, but I did make a couple of $100 here and there. But I wasn't like, I didn't sit on the auction house, just because it just wasn't really my thing. But you pretty much had the gear from the auction house though, so that was just kind of, it was a rough time. Whereas like I would rather try to find my own stuff to be able to wear, but usually it's like you're trying to find a really good item, so therefore you can sell on the auction house, so you can equip your character, you can build your character. That was the way to play. Which was always kind of a strange thing to me, but it, you know, the gameplay was fun, so play it for a while. Yeah, move D3 auction house, and we have Diablo trade for D. I just think trading via third party is just silly in 2024. Like, that's just like, that shouldn't be the main way to trade. I mean, if you want to do that and that's what you know, you want to do that, sure, but I do not think that that should be the primary way to be able to exchange or, you know, change up some gear. It's just a little weird to me. I think I already got a GoD6 boot like this where it's like not good, but I can't put all res on it because of the freaking secondary. Yep, I already got one that's just like that. So we'll just salvage that. The keys I got left. I think it's like 1 key left, maybe. Got 4 keys left. All right, so we Gucci.
You look like you could use a new item of. See you soon. My pack is full. Fortune favor. What a steal. You look like you could. Don't forget, luck always changes.
We'll use up these last 4 keys. Actually, did kind of mostly okay on the Paragon front. I actually really wasn't paying attention too much to that. I think as I'm leveling up my gems, like my main gems or whatever, I'll probably reach somewhere around close to 1800 Paragon, which should be enough to be able to do the to reasonably do GoD6 for the 150, and then also Marauders to 150. We'll start with the Marauders. I just really needed more primals to drop though. I'm kind of starving on the primordial ashes. But I guess when we start doing visions anyways for keys and more mats or whatever, I'll be able to get more drops there. Any primals in chat? Okay.
I need to go back. How satisfying.
Well, that was a pretty big knockback twice. Yeah. Oops. I was really trying not to click on that. Nice, that's 2 gems. How many gems did we level up? Like as side gems. See that one. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we got 3 side gems and quite a few. 125 still. I'm pretty sure I got some more skulls or whatever. Skulls. Screams. So I should be able to get a few more 125s out of that to get my Marauder set up and running. Let's see. Two more runs. Or 2 more GRs, I put it that way. Oof.
I'm overburdened.
Yeah, I don't care about any of those. I'll probably start empowering again. I got a bit of gold. Watch this give me a key. That give me 4 keys actually. I'll probably start gambling for other things now because I gotta. Well, no, I still need a better 9 series because I got a good I got a good UE and Marauder quick. My 9 series pretty plain, although it's good enough. I just can't, you know. But
You look like you could use a new item. What a steal. I can't carry any more. I didn't even know I had that thing. Fortune favors the bold. Do come back again. You look like you could use that is too expensive.
like I said, I don't really know what I would gamble for if I didn't if I didn't gamble quivers. Necro seems better RGK than Wiz. Oh yeah. Wizard is not really an RGK. At all, really. That works. I didn't empower that. I should have.
My training has paid off.
You got 2 sets Denario. Gotta hate this map. And I got it back to back to back. Waller against a wall, really? That's so bad. Shamish, what's going on? Oh, Ballista.
I'm skilled at clarifying gems. We need to go back.
We're debating if we should do 300 more Paragon. I keep bashing it against the 150 ball as it is. I forgot, what build are you playing again? Was it a Meteor Wiz? Ace Ninja, what's going on? Wizard, you're 148. Okay. And what's your Paragon again? Because I mean, like, if you're trying to push, you know, to get the 150, you're gonna gain Paragon by pushing. If you're like lower Paragon, like if you're like, you know, in the teens or whatever still, right? Like, let's say if you're like, you know, 1700 Paragon, 1800 Paragon, like, you're gonna gain Paragon by pushing. So like, I think you might as well just go for it because you're gonna get stronger anyway as you fail. Vanilla, what's going on? Right from yesterday with the question, it says reforge a weapon property to a socket the Mystic. What is even the Mystic? So, if you're, I'll show you. Let me finish this riff. I'll show you. The Mystic allows you to be able to re-roll a stat on your item, so you can pick a stat that you didn't like or whatever, and then you could try to roll it into something else that you actually do want. So yeah, the Mystic is a very important vendor. So in Act 1, so this is Act 1. So in Act 1, if you're at the portal, you go straight to the top right. And this is the Mystic here, the Artisan Miriam. So this is what's called the Mystic. So you go here, you go to the enchant, and then you pick a weapon, and then you just add it. You roll a socket onto it. Any weapon, like don't pick a good one. Just legit, just any raggedy one that you don't care about really. Or I mean, yeah, just any raggedy one. You don't want to roll a socket on a good one because you have the a different currency for that. A yellow, yeah, yeah, you can do that for it on the yellow if you want. Just to hope they don't do levels. They don't do 2 levels in D4 what they did 2 levels in Diablo games. I would rather for the levels to feel more impactful instead of having 1,000 levels. Yeah, I do hope that they do rework the difficulty levels. I think if they do that, it'll probably be like an expansion or something, which would be good. Because that'll be the time to really, like, you know, revamp how we level, the progression of how we level. Because right now they kind of just pushed us all into endgame rather quickly, with most of the levels not really, you know, mattering. We need T19 and T21. All right, y'all. Let's see what time it is. What else I gotta do? Wait, what? No way. No way. Bro, nah. I guess it is what it is then. Alright. Alright. Well, I do say LOL NDA, no point. I don't know. I really don't know what they're gonna do. It's not even it's not even NDA where like I know and I can't tell you. Like in this case in there, I don't know. Just keep in mind when I played the expansion, we played a very limited version of the game that was based around Spiritborn, and we were locked at level 30, so we couldn't even see most of what the expansion, entails, and they did that on purpose. So I wish I knew more. I really do. With that being said, I'm gonna have to call it early. I know, but I am really feeling the pain at the moment. So I think I just kind of need to lay down. I'm hoping I get to a point where these drugs or the pills, I put say drugs, but the pills I'm taking and this freaking shot is going to, hopefully these side effects are gonna taper down at some point. But yeah. Other than that, who to go to? Because everyone else is playing. Everyone else is playing Path of Exile. literally almost everyone else is playing Path of Exile. Let's go to LeBron James. He's doing some pushes. Bedtime? Nah. Well, I guess yeah. I'm gonna try to get something to eat and then like lay down because I'm like really sore. For some reason, like it's just really bothering me, like radiating. And I don't know. I just took some meds too, man. But yeah, it's like getting to me. I'm gonna have to lay down. Bro, did I see the Olympic comparison? I did not. I'm gonna catch it from I'm gonna go back and watch. But yeah, I didn't see anything in the recent. I need to. They said I needed it for last thing to complete chapter 4 of the season. I didn't know it was called Mystic. Oh yeah, man, you're good. I just called there a skin girl. Okay. All right. Anyhow, I'll see y'all tomorrow night. We got most of the pieces we need. I still need to get that bow for Marauders for M6, but tomorrow we will actually start some sort of push, or at least start putting together the M6 set, start leveling gems and things, so we can actually like do a push. So maybe towards the end of tomorrow night we'll be able to actually do a push. And so we might have a longer night tomorrow, which would be good. Be kind of fun. I gotta farm some keys and things, but as I promised, like I said, we will be doing some pushing this weekend. We'll get to the fun stuff finally. Anyhow, y'all have a good one. Enjoy LeBron's pushing, and as always, till next time.